up. And what it looks like is that we are live. What's good, people? Y'all already know what it is. It is Wednesday night, 8 something something another, and it is time for the midweek quick 30 with your host, two-time ATL's hottest DJ, the God DJ Agony, also known as Dr. Dope. And first of all, before we get into that, yo, big shouts out to anybody that came through the chat last week for the first inaugural dope date night with my boy, the real J Scott. And we set him up on a date. We're gonna see how that plays out. It worked out though. Like it was one of those things like I shy away from stuff like that because like I told y'all, I suck at it. So, like stuff like that I'm not good at, I don't talk about. Like golf. See? I don't talk about golf. You know why? Because I suck at it. But and we got my favorite troublemaker in the building. What up, Big Country? Big Country 50 in the building, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He was one of them that checked in last Friday. Like I said, last Friday, the chat was crazy. Like if you missed last Friday's show, definitely go back and watch last Friday's episode of the dope show. It was fucking nuts. And it was fun though, and it had some good vital information in there. So that's the cool thing. When you come to a dope show, you gonna have fun. And there's stuff that you can learn too on the side. Like, it's not just all about, partying and bullshit. Nah, like, I'm here to teach too. You know what I'm saying? I did it, I do that in my normal life, my 9 to 5 life. And so, I'm here to teach too, but at the same time, here it's a little more uncut, unkiltered, and unscripted, so we can have a lot more fun with it. You know what I'm saying? So if y'all have not checked that episode out, please go back and check out last Friday's episode, last week's quick 30 to Friday the 13th edition, top 10 horror movies. Yo, go check that one out too if you haven't seen them. So tonight's top 10 list is predicated off something that happened last week. So last week, the new Kendrick Lamar album dropped. Um, in my personal opinion, it is nothing short of a masterpiece. And we got the real Jay Scott in the building. Yeah, y'all, he in here. So the new Kendrick Lamar album came out. Like I said, it's nothing short of a masterpiece in my opinion. I mean, it seemed like, that's all the young boy do is know how to make hits, man. I mean, going all the way back to Section 80, Good Kid, Mad City, to Pimp a Butterfly, the Black Panther soundtrack, the Damn album, and now I can't remember the name of this one. Anybody that know the name of the new Kendrick, put it in the chat. It's got kind of a long, weird name. It's a fairly long album too, like but you just have to listen to it. Like his songwriting ability is top notch. Like um We Cry Together was fucking nuts. And if you in a relationship like that, get out. That is toxic. But to hear Kendrick rap about it is cool. So We Cry Together, that wins. It's a few other joints on there that kind of like my go-tos already. But overall, the album is solid. So in homage to the new Kendrick album, I am doing top 10 West Coast rappers not named Kendrick Lamar. Top 10 West Coast rappers not named Kendrick Lamar. And I know what you're thinking, Big Country. E40's not number one. Yeah. Sorry to go ahead and have to bring that to you, dog. So let's go ahead and jump in at number 10. Now, when we talk about West Coast rappers, this dude name doesn't come up very often, but Seattle is West Coast. And I'm talking about Sir Mix-a-Lot, y'all. Yeah, Sir Mix-a-Lot counts. He counts as a West Coast rapper. He is from Seattle, Washington. That is West. You go any western than Seattle, you are in the Pacific. And one thing about Sir Mix-a-Lot is that he's created so much longevity for himself with one song because he knew how to one own his music. Sir Mix-a-Lot owns 100% of all his music. Now, how many of your favorite rappers can say they own 100% of all their music? When I say 100%, I'm talking about writer credit, production credit, performance credit. 100% of the song, he owns that with every last one of his songs. How many of your favorite rappers can say that? And his whole business ethic on how he, allows samples to go out on lease to where okay, yeah, you can use it for this amount of time, pay for it, for this amount of time, and then I get it back. And he actually leases out his songs for sample. Who thinks of that? Who else has thought of that before Sir Mix-a-Lot was doing it? Like, pull up some of his YouTube videos. His business sense is top notch. This is why some 30 years after Baby Got Back came out, Sir Mix-a-Lot is still wearing white minks and driving Lamborghinis. The money never stopped. Yeah, I know. Now, switching up, going ahead and going down to Cali. My number 9 is none other, the boys in the hood himself, Easy E. Ah, okay. Mr. Morale and the Big Steppers. That's the name of the new Kendrick tape. Go get that. Go get that. It's on all your streaming platforms. Go get that. Like right now. Appreciate that, Jones. But yeah, number 9, Easy E. Now, Easy E ranks so low on this list. And people like, yo, Easy had a bunch of songs this and that. Yeah, but if you know about Easy's process, Easy couldn't write and he wasn't a rapper. It was just, when they were putting together the whole NWA thing, they needed a lead off, and Easy was just cool like that. Easy didn't need to create a buzz. Easy was already a buzz because he was the neighborhood guy that everybody knew. So we just need to put some lyrics around him and sell him. And that's really all Easy ever was. Of course, after Cube left NWA, Ren did the rest of his writing or whatever. And you could tell the difference in the writing. Not to shit on Ren, but he just wasn't Cube. Is how that happens. So, but nonetheless, Easy did kind of create a lane and he opened the door, what I'm saying, for NWA to just bust through. So you got to give him credit for that. But was, he your all-time top lyricist? Absolutely not. Was he entertaining? Absolutely, of course. Easy was entertaining. Easy was, what I'm saying? Easy was on the forefront of what became named gangster rap. They never named it that, but he was on the forefront of that. Um. So yeah, number 9, Easy E. Now number eight, I gotta give that to Hammer. I'm sorry. Hammer was an ordained minister of a church, and it's one of those things to where he had it in him, and his wife said, "Go get it out your system." And who know he was gonna go on like a 4-year, $50 million run. Who knew? And I promise you, as gangster as the most gangster is dude out there ever, can't sit here and lie and say he wasn't bumping Hammer 88, 89, 90, 91, 92. I'm sorry. And I remember when the Funky Headhunter album dropped, which was roughly about his fourth, it was about his fourth album actually. That's the one, Hammer kind of switches up the look. He's not wearing the parachute pants anymore. He got on scullies and big jeans and high tech boots. And I remember watching Arsenio Hall and Hammer's coming out there with the denim, so he's looking real, real West Coast, real death row. And Arsenio premiered the Pumps and the Bump video. And if you have not seen that video, one, you might be too young to be watching this. And two, you need to go to YouTube right now and watch that video right now because you saw a different side of Hammer. That wasn't too legit. That wasn't. That's why we pray. That's a whole nother Hammer in that Pumps and the Bump video. It was so bad, Arsenio had to cut it maybe like a minute into it. And was like, "Yo, y'all gonna get me kicked off the air." So, yo, big shots out to Hammer. And one of the things I got to dispel this myth. Hammer was never broke, y'all. Hammer was never broke. Hammer went into debt real bad. Hammer never went broke. Just stop. Let's get that out there. Like it wasn't like Hammer had to eat cold beans out of can with a stick, or he had to live under a bridge. No, ain't none of that bullshit. Yo, Hammer just had to downsize his life quite a bit because that income wasn't as strong as it was in previous years. But Hammer was never broke, y'all. I'm still a big Hammer fan to this day. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to Hammer. Still doing it. I don't know if he's still doing his thing, but I listen to the classics. Word. Now we up to number 7. Now my number 7 is one of those West Coast artists that, as they like to say nowadays, if you know, you know. But this dude here he's made some songs that just Like if a blues singer was from Oakland, no, I think he's from Richmond. I don't know, somewhere in the Bay Area. Somewhere in the Bay Area. We'll call it that. My number seven is Spice One. Now, I'll never forget the night that Pimp C died. It had been announced also that Spice One had got shot. So somewhere in my head, I'm thinking, damn, Spice One and Pimp C died on the same day. But the plus side is Spice One lived. I mean, I'd rather both of them had lived, but it's what it is. But Spice One lived. Spice One was one of those rappers, like, when you got Bone and you got Twista and you got all these other artists rapping, I mean, arguing about who created tongue twisting. Listen to some Spice One. Spice One could go. Spice One had one of the fastest flows out there at the time. And we talking early 90s though. And we might be talking pre-Bone and pre-Twister. Anybody want to, fact check that to see when the first Spice One album came out? You know what I'm saying? Go look that up. But I mean, you get talking about classics like Another Nigga Sings the Blues, Jealous Got Me Strapped, Welcome to the Ghetto, Trigger Happy. And Spice One was very, very creative in songs, like I said, like Trigger Happy, 187 Proof, to where he would take the name of liquors or take the name of guns and then tell stories with the names as if they're names of characters. Go back and listen to some Spice One. The brother was leaps and bounds ahead of his time, and he does not get the credit he deserved for not only being a storyteller, but for just having a good flow and being just that raw lyricist that he was. I mean, Spice One was very creative. So go back and give Spice a listen, man, because he said some shit, y'all. He said some shit and did some shit. So let's not sleep on that one. Big shouts out to Andrew Snorton. Yo, what up, man? In the building. All right, going on to number six. Number six, man, we got a dude that, in my opinion, when it comes to production, he gave the West Coast its sound. Y'all already know who I'm talking about. Dude had crazy samples, crazy beats. Like, I mean, the dude was just raw with it. Number six is Dr. Dre. Now, reason why he's so low is because, like I said, Dr. Dre's really known more for his production, his beats, rather than, oh man, I want to hear what Dre has to say on this next album. Nah, Dre wasn't really there for that. It's like one of those things where, like, when you listen to the Chronic is deemed a masterpiece. But when you listen to it, the Chronic's a compilation. You don't have but maybe a couple of songs with Dre on there by itself because Dre's not there for that. Dre was there to put other people on. So you got Daz, you got Snoop, you got Daz, you got Corrupt, you got RBX, you got the Lady of Rage. Like, all of these people got shine on the Chronic. You know what I'm saying? And so, I mean, that's what he was there for. Dre was more there to put people on. Now, did he have good lyrical content? Yeah, he dropped some shit. You know what I'm saying? He dropped some bars, particularly on the Chronic 2001. Like, he has some smoke, but it was not, that to put him in top five of West Coast rappers. It's another echelon of guys. You know what I'm saying? And we gonna jump into them in a second. Now, we just hit the top five. His brother right here really don't get the credit he deserves either. A lot of these dudes on this list don't get the credit they deserve, and I have no idea why. When the West really took the sound from New York for a good minute, like, you got to think, going into this whole East Coast West Coast beef, which was all BS by the way. The When NWA came out, they had took the sound from the West, like they took the West, they took the East. You know what I'm saying? Nobody was checking for New York in '92 when the Chronic dropped. I mean, yeah, you had Illmatic, but was it beating the Chronic numbers? Or the way you could really tell, I lived in the South, which is neither West Coast nor Northeast. What was bumping out of most cars, you ask? Let Me Ride, Dre Day, Lyrical Gang Bang, Nothing But a G Thing. You know what I'm saying? So these West Coast artists really don't get the credit they deserve. And I can't think of anything that really would have came out around these times that, particularly before that mid '90s to where it was about Biggie Pop, Biggie Pop, Biggie Pop. You know what I'm saying? That, in my opinion, that's why I feel like in the Northeast really rode Biggie like that because they were like, "Yo, we're gonna ride with this guy because he's gonna get us there." You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get us there. We're good if we ride with him. And the West was like, "Well, shit, we got him. We got Pop." You know what I'm saying? Nothing's beating him. I think it more so should have stayed a battle of word and lyrics rather than how it ended up. You know what I'm saying? We end up losing two good brothers, both right at the age of 25. Like life ain't even got to the good part yet at 25. That's when the party gets started. But nonetheless, so going into my number five pick is like I said, another underrated MC, underrated producer, and that's Daz from the Dog Pound. Um, Daz was I don't really even know what to say to describe him, but dude was just like it was almost like he like when Snoop did this, Daz would pick it up and take off running. He was almost like the running back on the team. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get you 15, 20 yards. He's gonna get you that first down. Like Daz was that dude, man. Like and then I mean some of the beats he produced. I mean, you listen to All Eyes on Me. A lot of that is Daz, y'all. hmm A lot of that is Daz on All Eyes on Me, y'all. So yeah, Daz had the joints, man. He had crazy joints. Dog Pound, Dog Food album, classic, classic. Period. You know, nothing come behind the comma or parentheses. Dog Food was just classic. That's all it is. Classic. Jumping into number four. This is somebody who's closer to the new school, more of nowadays times. Even though he hadn't dropped lately, but the dude had a good run, lyrical. He can tell a story. Dude can write a beat, diss records, whatever. It's like this guy comes with no gimmick, and that's probably why he's one of my he's in my top five of West Coast artists. That's Game. Game was no gimmicks needed, no gimmicks necessary. He just came in with raw bars. He let you know who he was, where he was from. And I'll tell y'all like this. If you really want to hear the creative side of Game, go look up this album he dropped a few years back called 1995. Go look that album up and listen to it. It's almost like listening to a hood movie. It's like listening to that album would put you in the mind of where Kendrick went with Good Kid, Mad City. It's just like following this kid along his path in the jungle that is known as Los Angeles on different gang turfs. Go listen to that 1995 album, and that's the name of the album. It's called 1995. Go listen to it. Like it is probably creatively one of Game's best. I will say that hands down. Not period. You know what I'm saying? Number three. Y'all had to know number three was top three was coming up, and a lot of y'all might look at me crazy because this brother's number three and not number one, and maybe you won't. Who knows? I don't know what y'all be thinking. My number three is Ice Cube, and here's why I say Ice Cube at number three. I have to get more into who number two is in a second. The reason why he's over Ice Cube, but Ice Cube ranks high because Ice Cube is probably one of the most underrated storytellers. A lot of times we get into storytellers, a lot of people like to bring up Ghostface, a lot of people like to bring up Slick Rick, bring up Biggie, and those guys are great. Those guys are dope. But when you listen to What Can I Do, or you listen to Today Was a Good Day, you listen to Once Upon a Time in the Projects. Hell, listen to Boys in the Hood. Even though Ice Cube didn't rap it, he wrote Boys in the Hood. You can close your eyes and follow this story all the way out. Think about it like this. Woke up quick at about noon, just thought that I had to be in Compton soon. I gotta get drunk before my day begins, before my mother starts bitching about my friends. Who hasn't woke up like that? Still staying in mom's house, still on the bullshit, but man, I gotta get outside before she start with her shit. Come on, man. Like Q wrote that perfectly. You know what I'm saying? And there's so many other joints that he wrote that was just like, God damn, like I feel like I'm there. You know, having not grown up on the West Coast, Ice Cube made me feel like I at least know what I'm talking about. I mean, and then oh my God, we can't talk about storytelling. We can't forget Steady Mobbing. Steady Mobbing was like today was a good day. It was just a day in a life type story. Check yourself. A day in a life in jail type story. Used to be the Don Juan, now your name is just Twan. Like, come on, man. Like Ice Cube was very poignant with the lyrics, and his storytelling was top rank. Definitely top rank. Now getting into number two, the reason why number two was over number one, and I'll tell you in a second when I tell you who number two is. Number two is actually Snoop. Snoop Dogg, Snoop D-O double G. The reason why I say Snoop for two reasons: longevity, versatility. Let's get into that. So, as far as Snoop and longevity go, now, yeah, Ice Cube was out first. Snoop, we could date him back to about 91, 91, 92 ish with the deep cover joint that he did with Dre. So that puts him at about, you say, 31 years in the game. Ice Cube collectively may have close to that number, give or take, but Snoop's been dropping music that whole time. Whole time. So many albums that he's dropped that were good albums. Whether y'all bought them and listened to them or not, like they were solid joints. And he's been dropping ever since then. I mean, and once we get into versatility, Snoop's dropped a reggae album. Snoop's dropped a gospel album. Snoop's done a song with Stevie Wonder. Snoop can do a song with your favorite pop artist right now, and I'm talking about pop like some shit that would have been on VH1 back in the day when that's all VH1 had. Snoop could do a song with them right now, and it would go. Snoop could do a song with literally anyone. No, I don't think I could name anybody else who could just jump on anybody's song like Snoop and then have a cooking show with Martha Stewart. Snoop's versatility is just off the rails. And that being said, it's like I have to put him over Ice Cube because Ice Cube scares white people. He can't jump on a song with, God forbid, a Gwen Stefani or somebody like that. Snoop could. Snoop could get on a song with Miley Cyrus, but Ice Cube, Miley Cyrus would run from Ice Cube. You know what I'm saying? And he's not gonna soften his stance, and we wouldn't want him to because it would make it's like who would want a lesser Ice Cube? No, we want that Ice Cube. We want Predator. We want America's Most Wanted. You know what I'm saying? We want Death Certificate Ice Cube. We want Lethal Injection Ice Cube. But Snoop's just so versatile that he can be anywhere, anytime. You gotta think Snoop signed with No Limit. No Limit was a label based out of New Orleans with a lot of bounce type beats, real heavy bouncy type beats. And Snoop was able to get in there, find his place. And I want to say Snoop dropped what, two albums on No Limit? Two or three albums. I want to say it was two albums on No Limit. This is a label that says nothing about West Coast artists. Like there's nothing about No Limit that says, yeah, we're from the West. And Snoop was able to jump on the tank and ride out. For that, like I said, versatility is, if nothing else, get Snoop at my number two spot. Now, I'm gonna go through 10 through 2, and I'm also throwing some honorable mentions because I know y'all up here thinking like, damn, it's a lot of names missing. And it is. And I get into those in a second. But at number 10, Sir Mix-a-Lot. Seattle is still the West Coast. Number 9, Hammer. I mean, yeah. No, wait a minute. Was Hammer number 9 or 8? No. Easy E was 9. Hammer was 8. Number 7, Spice One. Number 6, Dr. Dre. Number 5, Daz Dillinger. Number 4, The Game. 3, Ice Cube. 2, Snoop Dogg. And for my honorable mentions, we get into longevity. You can't leave out Too Short and E40. You cannot leave out Too Short and E40. I mean, those dudes out of everybody on this list, those dudes probably been doing it the longest. And with Too Short, we go back to like 84, E40, we go back to 90, I want to say 89, 90. And these dudes are still going. Like Too Short was supposed to retire on album number 10. And last time I checked, I think Too Short was on like 16 or 17, which means yeah, he's dropped way more material since he was supposedly retiring. But what can you do? If it's in you, you got to keep running it out until you get it up out you. You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's what you got to do with music. You know what I'm saying? If you can't just keep that bottled up in you, leads to a life of regrets. So if you got an artistic form or whatever you want to get that out, get that out. Also, you know what I'm saying? Big shots out in the RIP honorable mention of Nipsey Hussle. You know what? Mac 10 was dope. Let's throw Mac 10 on there for the honorable mentions. Big shouts out to Keena Martin. What's happening, shouted. But yo, Mac 10 was dope. Mac 10 definitely goes on my honorable mentions. Um, also, well, like I said, big shouts out RIP to Nipsey Hussle. Reason why he was on my honorable mention and not my top 10, just simply put, I really didn't know dude music like that. I didn't. I had heard the marathon continues, and then he died, and then it was just like this big pouring out of a lot of his music, and it's like, um damn, you coming up with a lot of good ones. Yeah. Quick could be another honorable mention. Quick, but if we add Quick in, we gotta add MC8. Like that was you talking about a rivalry. Like that one could have gotten really bad. But let's be thankful now that these guys put the beef away. They're cool with each other now. But Quick and MC8 was finna tell LA what they call the fuck up at one time. Also, what I'm saying, honorable mention, we gotta throw out Cypress Hill. I mean, they from there too. The Loonies. The Loonies were my other honorable mention. Big fan of the Loonies. You know what I'm saying? I got five on it, still an anthem. That is a 420 anthem right there. Like, if you ain't bumping, I got five on it on 420. I don't know. Maybe if you know your fractions better and you might be bumping it instead on 420, you might be bumping it January the 5th. Math people get that one. Like, yo, the Loonies gave us an anthem with that. Well, let's go ahead and jump into that number one. Number one, West Coast artist. I hope y'all already know who it is. I'm sure y'all know who it is. Y'all know who it is, right? You know what? Fuck it. I just tell you. Tupac, man. It was a given, right? It was a given. That was one of those ones like, damn, I knew that. Of course you did. Because, I mean, West Coast artists, even though Pac's from everywhere and back, he meant so much to music as a whole. Pac, on one hand could come with a message, and Brenda's got a baby, and then you flip a coin a couple of times. Pac's making diss records like Hit 'Em Up. You know what I'm saying? He made Dear Mama, and then he made Ambitious as a Rider. You know what I'm saying? You got Troublesome. I mean, and Pac's the only one who's had posthumous albums that have blown up as big as if he was still alive. Like his posthumous albums are crazy. Uh Till the End of Time, Still I Rise, like Pac meant so much to music, and I really felt like, as fans, we were robbed of so much great content that could have came out. Um so it was one of those things to where I don't know. I really feel like we took a loss on that one. He meant so much to music as a whole, in my opinion. I think Pac, had the years going on, Pac would have transcended rap. He would have been one of those people like a Michael Jackson or um, a Michael Jordan, a LeBron James, the person that actually transcends what they are into where people who may not know or just how you got people that don't know wrestling, but they know Ric Flair, they know Hulk Hogan. People who don't watch basketball, but they know LeBron James, they know Michael Jordan. I think Pac would have been that for rap. People would have looked over everything else with rap, and it was like, yo, that's Pac. He's the guy from da 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 da. And then plus, every movie I've seen Pac in, he made it better. Above the Rim sucked. I'll say it. Above the Rim sucked. But Birdie was cool as shit though. Juice. Okay, Juice was dope. We ain't even talk bad about Juice. However, Where would Juice have been without Bishop? You think you think Q, Raheem, and Steele was gonna carry that movie? Exactly. Nah. So big shouts out and R.I.P. Tupac, number one West Coast artist, not named Kendrick Lamar. Big shouts out to all my people in the chat. Said Shot G helped build Tupac. Probably did, but building the car, it still got to run. Pac ran it. You see, somebody got to drive it. Um, so yeah, big shouts out to Shock G, Digital Underground, RIP to him as well. Big shout out to everybody in my chat, man. Big shout out to Jones, Big Country 50, aka the Troublemaker, Keena Martin, what's happening with you. Shouts out to everybody that tunes in, supports anything Dope's got going on. Yo, we got way more stuff coming up for you, more content. It's a lot going on, man. It's a lot that y'all don't see behind the scenes, but I'm constantly working to build and elevate this platform to another level to where, my day one people could be like, yo, I remember when he used to sit in his room with his headphones on and switch t-shirts up, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That day will be there and we can all look back at it and be like, yeah, I remember those shows. Those are good shows too. You know what I'm saying? Big shouts out to everybody that comes through and support this Friday night. I keep telling y'all do not want to miss this one. I got the host and founder of Beer in the Conversation, Laris Hodges, will be sitting on that side of the screen. And yo, from what he tell me, he got something to say. I'm here to listen. So y'all make sure y'all tune in Friday night at 8 o'clock. Yo, it'll be the dope show. DJ Agony, two-time ATL's hottest DJ. Laris Hodges, founder, host, Beer in the Conversation, right here in the building, man. Two old alumni of Instinct slash Status Network, man. Yeah, big shouts out to them. Shouts out to Jihad Live. He should be on now. He's got a lot of dope content over there. Y'all, if y'all haven't checked that brother out on YouTube, Jihad Live. I think it's Jihad Live, Jihad Live TV. I can never remember that. You know what? This is what we're gonna do. Next time I see it, I'm gonna write it down. That way I'll never forget it. But big shots out there. Me doing big things over there. And yo, that's my quick 30 for the night, man. Like I said, like, share, subscribe, but make sure y'all enjoy yourselves, man. And remember to stay dope. Until the next time, imitation is a sincere form of flattery that mediocrity can pay to greatness. I am DJ Agony. This is my quick 30, and I'm out. Peace.